5-minute review in Resolve, and it took less than 10 minutes to export. I'm also running DeepSeek R1 within LM Studio, and it's pretty fast to compute locally. All of this done in a PC that's just 0.6 inches thin and only weighs around 3.5 pounds, which is almost the same size as a 13-inch iPad Pro. Yeah, this tiny machine packs some serious power. All of this is possible thanks to the new Ryzen AI Max processors that use a single chip with up to 32 threads on the CPU side and a massive GPU. With that combination, AMD is hoping that they have a solution that can beat Apple's new M4 chips in creative workloads, while also delivering a good option for AI development and gamers as well. And although it was announced this year at CES, we're finally now allowed to actually talk about how this thing performs in all of those areas. I think there are tons of different applications where we could see the Ryzen AI Max series, or what's codenamed Strix Halo. So from ultra small form factor PCs to something like the ROG Flow Z13. The options are limitless, since it gives companies the ability to maximize CPU and, more importantly, graphics power without needing a discrete GPU. And a bit about the Flow Z13, because we have two of them over here, one with the Ryzen AI Max 395 and the other with the 390. Both have 32 gigabytes of memory, which is a bit unfortunate since this platform can technically be configured with up to 128 gigabytes of LPDDR5X shared between the CPU and the GPU. But I would expect 120 gigabyte devices targeted towards AI devs rather than gamers like this thing does. Also, based on our testing, ASUS has configured it to run up to 70 watts, but that just scratches the surface of what Strix Halo can achieve, since AMD rates it to run anywhere between 45 watts to 125 watts. I mean, of course, we'd never see those high power specs in a tablet as small as the Z13 over here because of cooling limitations, but this also points towards the AI Max series being potentially a lot more powerful than you're about to see. And speaking of seeing, let's get into the benchmarks with a quick overview of the devices we're using. So the Z13 is a pretty unique form factor. It isn't a tablet, it isn't a laptop, it's a bit of both. There's just a lot going on for it. So we're putting these chips against the older Z13 and a couple of thin and light gaming laptops. All of them have discrete GPUs, and finally there's also the MacBook Pro with the M4 Pro chip. And those 32 and 24 threads of the AI Max series gives them a serious edge over other Windows laptops. And I should also mention that R23 runs through emulation on the MacBook, so we aren't seeing its true potential. Moving on to R24, and here the MacBook jumps out to a lead, but it's a lot smaller than you might have expected. There's something else going on over here too. Even though the AI Max 390 has the same number of processing threads as the HX 370 and is running at 10 watts lower, it's actually faster. Now that could be because the Ryzen AI series mixes the Zen 5C cores for efficiency, whereas the Max processors only use those big boy Zen